Why do narcissists make such good performers? It's little wonder that the entertainment, the acting profession has its fair share, probably more than its fair share, of people with strong narcissistic traits. There's pretty normal people out there as well, of course, but it's interesting. It's an interesting profession. But take away all the actors and the actual professional performers, and why do narcissists make such great performers? It's because ultimately they are terrified of the real them. The real them is full of shame and guilt and insecurities and an inability to cope, and they're not good enough or they're unlovable. And all of those things, when you're a narcissist, that's the ego, that's the fragile ego that they desperately have to protect all the time. And if I can just create a persona, if I can just become another person, say for instance, then my ego is protected. And that's why there's such consummate performers. Now, when I say performers, when you first get to know a narcissist, now this could be a work relationship, a social relationship, a romantic relationship. Obviously, when it comes to family, you know them, they know you, so it's slightly different. But in those relationships where you are getting to know them, they can be a brilliant performer. They can be the kindest person, the most thoughtful person, or seemingly they can. Because eventually, if we go back to the theatre again, the mask will drop and the real them will come out. And something will happen that upsets them or bothers them in some way or another. And you'll see it, you'll see the real them. Often when people are in relationships with narcissists, they'll say, oh God, they've completely bamboozled everybody. Am I the only person that can actually see the real them? And that's where the gaslighting comes, because you start doubting yourself. You start actually becoming the person that they've always wanted you to be, which is this probably slightly unstable person that they can get the better of easily. And you start believing that of yourself, and that's real danger time for any relationship you may be in if you're starting to feel that. But before that point, they will start getting people on their side, unwitting flying monkeys, if you like, the people that are closest to you, often their family. If somebody gets together in a relationship and they want to isolate you for their own reasons, they will potentially start with your family. They'll start telling, making suggestions about you. Oh, are you quite sure about him? And the family might start going, oh yeah, well, he's been a little bit fragile sometimes, but generally he's been a really solid type of guy. And the partner might come along and go, well, I see where you're coming from. You're a lovely family. You're so good, and let me do these things for you. And they just kind of wheedle in there and start causing doubts around your family, and when they may say to you, oh, is everything okay? I was talking to your partner the other day, and she was a little bit worried about you, and you start going, no, but I'm fine, I'm really fine. Oh, but they're really kind of concerned about it. They asked me not to say this to you. Classic line. They are, when the narcissist says to them, don't say anything. I'm just really worried about her, or I'm worried about him. Don't say anything, though. Classic line, because that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you, the family member, to go to you and say, is everything okay? I'm not meant to be, and it's playing people. But to be able to play people, they have to be that great performer. And the problem about a narcissist, they can only be a great performer for a certain amount of time. They've only got a limited time to be able to get people, to be able to ensnare people, because that's what they are doing into their lives. And as I alluded to before, this is done out of a dislike, a sense of unworthiness and shame and everything that goes with it about themselves. And this is often stuff that has come from the past, where they have potentially been told that they are defective, that they are rubbish, that they are useless, and from their parents as well. And it's often interesting when you have people, and I've had people for clients, and they've been in a relationship with a narcissist that we talk about a lot, and then you say, oh, and what were their family like? And if they've actually got to meet them, because sometimes they're often hidden, they never actually get to meet them. But it's sometimes when they have got to meet them, they've said, oh yeah, his dad was a bit harsh. And we got there, and instantly he was treating him like a child, and my partner was then instantly behaving like a child. And but the moment we got back into the car to go home, he was full of rage and annoyance, because that was the dynamic that was expected from the dad. And they will then do that, again, it's like a performance in that dynamic. It's one that they're used to, but then they can't deal with it because it's something they don't like, but then they take it out on you. And but those around you, they could be, this is another classic line, oh, they're just brilliant, oh, you couldn't ask for a nicer partner, she's wonderful, oh, she's such a good person, she'll do anything for me, and she'll take me shopping, and we talk about things. And I remember one particular guy, and he ended up getting married to this woman that the red flags were kind of, well and truly trotting across his mind when he was in a relation with her. And he ended up getting married because his who became his wife arranged the marriage with his mother. And his mother just wanted, to have this lovely big wedding for her son. And sure enough, as is absolutely typical in these relationships, literally before the ink had dried on the marriage certificate, oh, I didn't think I could have children, but I'm having a child. Oh, isn't that amazing? This is a miracle child, because it kind of cements he's not going anywhere. And because I've got mum on side with my performance, his mum, my mother-in-law, because I've got her on side, then actually that means that he's not going anywhere, because she's not going to let him go anywhere either. And that's, they are... as I say, brilliant performers to a point. They're not as brilliant as they think they are. They never think anybody can see through them. And if they do suspect that anybody, maybe a sort of a peripheral friend or family member is seeing through them, they will be very hostile about them, and they will try and isolate you away from them, because they don't want them, their famous phrase is, I don't want that person dripping poison into your ear about me. You have to believe that I'm the most wonderful person, like everybody else does with my performance. And that one or two people that are kind of getting in your ear, that might be telling you the truth and threatening my ego, I'm going to get you away from them. I'm going to get you to isolate from them. But maybe they're the people in your life that you have to listen to. So they make brilliant performers, and just look out for it, and see it. There's plenty of films, classic literature, of course, where you get this setup, and just maybe see it for what it is. Don't be paranoid, of course, but see things for what they are, and maybe tell the other people in your life that are being dragged in by the narcissist to your detriment, maybe it's not all you see. Thank you so much for watching. If I could ask you to subscribe and do the thumbs up, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I will see you next time. And until then, please take very good care of yourself.